Hi, hello, g'day, kia ora, welcome to the studio. It is Guy Fawkes night and I am inside crafting, trying to ignore the exploding fireworks that are going off left, right and centre. But I'm inspired. Plus, I'm on a truncated timeline and that I've got to get this done. So I'm working on my journal for Dephemerember. I'm just adding a little bit extra to some of the pages before I sew it all together, and then we're going to be good to go. So I want to get these done, and I've had some inspiration, so I'm really keen to get them done. So what I'm looking at is I've got some tea and coffee dyed pages that I'm including in my journal. I've got 4 pages, one for each signature. And what I found is I was digging through some of my stencils and I found some stencils that I haven't used for a while. So I pulled them out. Now they're all Donna Downey ones. I have no idea if you can still get them. Possibly not, because I've probably had them 8, maybe 10 years. I can't remember. At least 5. Well over 5. Way over 5. I'm pulling out my Distress Oxides. I'm going to go for Distress Oxides on all of these. And I pulled out my swatches because I wanted to look at what colours were in my printables that I've got in there. Same as what I've done before, but I went through again. So I've pulled out Spiced Marmalade, Wild Honey, Spiced Marmalade, Wild Honey, Broken China, and Salty Ocean. So those are my 4 colours. I'm going for 1 page in each colour. Let's jump in. Now, the other thing I wanted to sort of, the other reason that I'm doing this and why I'm doing it as a video is because I want to show you a way that you can use your stencils that maybe you bought when you were scrapbooking or you were doing art journaling and they've just been sitting there and you've either thought, that's it, I'm never going to use them again, or you just haven't thought about them, period, and we're maybe thinking, okay, I should sell them or give them away. So let's just go with, try using them. So I've got my 4 different 10 coffee dyed paper. Oh, I love that sound. I've got 4 stencils here. So I'll show you as I do them. And I'm probably going to do this like sped up, but so that you can see what it is I'm doing. Okay, so that's dry. I'll just make sure my tabletop is also dry. Yes, we are. So, and now we need to add the rest of it. cool. And then we might do some splatters or something, but let's go on with the next one. That looks pretty cool. And yep, that looks cool. I'm going to mist this and then dry it. Oh yeah, that's looking good. That is gonna be awesome. So this is a black Tombow brush tip pen. It's WSBH150. It's actually a calligraphy pen, but a lot of artists use it for like outlining their drawings. I'm going to use it to outline some of these words. So what I want to do is emphasize some of the words, and I'm going to do it very lightly because I'm hoping that the black will not go through the paper too much. So I'm just going to, and I'm ignoring any breaks in letters because I want them to be whole, and I'm just going to I'm not worrying about whether I'm straight or not, because you know there is no right or wrong in this. Happy with that. Okay, alright. So I think that is that done. Alright, now. Okay, so after I cleaned up, I had a look at them and I thought they all needed some kind of emphasis. So I've done all the brushes, just the outlines. We've got the artist, which was original, done the art, and then live. And I'm really pleased with how they stand out now. I think they look really cool. Love that. I think that's awesome. But I think they need some kind of splatters. Okay, so to finish off all these pages, I've just added some gold splatter. This one here, the larger splatters from the eyes ink. I took the nozzle out and just sort of splattered from there. And then all this very small ones, like down here, if you can even see them, very small ones in here, are from my, I made up a mix of gold paint and water, and for that I used the Golden Artist's Iridescent Bright Fine Gold. I love all these pages. I think they're awesome. I think they're going to fit in with my journal really nicely. Now I just need to decide what, if anything, I'm going to do on the other side. I'm just sharing a little bit extra that I've decided to do on this. This is the long strip that I backed onto coffee dyed paper. Now it was directly out of a magazine, so I'm wanting to just age it a little bit. So I've got a jar filled with it was now warm water and a couple of teaspoons of coffee, and I'm just brushing it onto this side only. I'm not going on the other side where there's the distress ink, but if like some soaks are on the edges, that's fine. But covering the page and then putting like some extra bits where it's going to sort of pull into different spots, and then I am just drying it with my heat tool. So this one here I've just about finished, and I'm just doing it section at a time, just creating a little bit of extra interest. I thought I'd give it a go and see what it turns out like. Alright, so that's the two top sections. I really love the patches there. I think they look awesome. Now you will have to make sure, like you can see here, I just used a glue stick and it's pretty much just about lifted off completely. So I am going to have to make sure I sew around the edges. But listen to this compared to like virtually no noise whatsoever. It's worth it just for this. It doesn't impact upon the crunchiness. Hasn't impacted too much on the background. Okay, it's a little bit of distortion there, but that's fine. I think this is well worth it. So I'm going to carry on with the other half and then maybe finally get to the sewing machine. Right, so I'm just on this last one here, last panel. If you want to know sort of how I went from this to this, then leave, oh hang on, I should put it up that way because then the flowers are up the right way. From like blank to like these framed coffee frames, leave a comment below and I will at some stage do a tutorial for you explaining how I do it, because it is relatively easy to do. You don't need any tools in particular other than a heat tool, and for this I'm just using coffee water and patience. That's all it requires. So yeah, leave a comment below if you want to see like a step-by-step tutorial on just this technique or any other techniques that I do in any of my videos, because I know sometimes as a creator we try to squeeze in so many different things to give you so many different ideas that sometimes we don't spend enough time actually explaining what it is we're doing in such a way that you can actually do it at home. I do try to do that, but yeah, let me know if there's anything that you want me to do. So I'm just going to finish this last panel off, and then as you can see, I started off very meek and mild with my coffee dyeing. By the time I got to here, I was like starting to amp it up. But over here, I've just gone to town, and I love this look so much that I'm probably going to go back. I might add a wee bit more to here, but definitely this side, these two panels needs a lot more to sort of equal this. I love it so much. Anyway, I'm going to get back onto this, and I'll show you all my sort of tea and coffee dyeing once it's all done. If you've done any kind of art journaling, you're probably familiar with this stencil from the Crafters Workshop. It is called TCW 251 Branches Reversed, and there is also a sister stencil where you can get the tree, which I've also got. Well, I used this on one of my pages for my Dephemerember junk journal, and something went horribly wrong. So you can see this is the tree here, kind of there, this part here. But when I sprayed through with my mist, in order to try and get a really good coverage with the glistening, with the mica, I think I just sprayed too much on. And the stencil wasn't, you know, down on the paper or properly, or maybe I sprayed from the side, who knows. But it turned into a hot mess. I didn't want to waste this paper, because this was some that I received in a Happy Mail from the United States. So it's got meaning behind it. And that's kind of why I was using it in the first place, was I'd hoarded it waiting for that, you know, perfect project. And in the end, I just had to say, look, use it. And I wanted to use it on a journal for myself, so it's now in my, well, it's going to be in my Dephemerember journal. So I dried the tree off, having sprayed it, and thought, okay, well, what am I going to do? So I misted all over, well, kind of this 2/3 of the page, and I mean, like some big splatters and blobs, just to kind of take out the stark horribleness. And then I actually put the stencil back on top and traced through the tree with a very fine point pen. It was just like a borrow pen. I can't even remember which one it was. I then removed the stencil and using my Tombow pencil, or pen rather, and this is a brush tip, but a very fine one. It's a calligraphy pen, and I think I picked it up from Daiso. But I then went and over all the lines and just did like a sketchy line, so you can see sort of like here where I made it look kind of sketchy. I've hidden the lines where I traced it, and now it's starting to grow on me. So if you do something and you're not happy with it and you think, I could have done better, or I used the wrong products, don't like throw away your mistakes. You can still try something else, and I mean you keep trying until you either get something that you like, or maybe you even love, or it is just so filled with product that there's nothing more you can do. So then, yeah, you might decide that, yep, okay, it's time has come and it is time for dead and burial type thing. But I mean, really what I'm wanting to say is that we all have those pages where we wish we'd done something differently, or it didn't turn out how we thought it would. So don't feel like you're alone in doing that. It happens to everyone. It happens to the best of crafters. It happens to the newest of crafters. It happens to someone who's been crafting 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Just, you know, experiment and try something else. All is not lost. So I just wanted to share that with you as I continue on with my Dephemerember journey. Thanks for joining me here in the studio today, and welcome to the page that coulda, shoulda, woulda, nearly wasn't.